Hello my loyal companions and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video I want to go over a side of Rogue Company that isn't shown too much, and that is the competitive scene. If you haven't heard, today is the start of a monthly tournament hosted by Mario Gaming called roguebowl. I will actually be participating in this, so if you do want to come check it out, come follow me on twitch.tv/RedStarGaming and I'll be streaming that live. You'll be seeing me and my team trying to win a chunk of that £300 prize pool. But in this video I'm going to go over a little bit about how that is different to regular play, how it's different to public matches, and give you a little bit of an insight into my experience with an esports team. So let's jump into it. The competitive side of Rogue Company isn't shown too much here on YouTube or around the community because the game is so new. There isn't an established esports sector. I did, however, when looking for teammates for this tournament that I mentioned, run across an esports team who were looking for some people and thought I may as well give it a try. And I want to explain to you a little bit about how that process worked. So I found them while searching Discord channels, and then I hit them up and they said that they wanted to invite me to a trial just based on the fact that I'm a content creator and I seem pretty good at the game from what they've seen. I'm going to keep their particular name of this esports team hidden just for their privacy and confidentiality. But I will preface, they were all really nice guys. I really enjoyed playing with them and it was a really great experience. Basically how it worked is I jumped on Discord with them. There was their main guy who was recruiting and doing the trials, and then there were three of us doing the trial with them. The way it worked is we tried to jump into public matches, and we actually tried to queue up at the same time as another team who were also trialing to try and do a bit of scrimming because there is no custom games available. Unfortunately that didn't work, but we were just playing pubs. But the way it worked was the main guy from the team was shot calling, and he just wanted to see how we were playing around the map, playing off his instructions. He said right at the start, even if I make the wrong call and you disagree, follow what I do and see how you play as a team. It felt much different to public matches. The organisation was there, the call outs were so clear, and you really had to be on it. From what it seemed, gunplay wasn't really on their radar, but communication was. It was all about how you responded to calls and made your own calls, giving information. It also seemed like they were focusing on how adaptable you were to different situations and whether you could hold down lines of sight that were really important for them to then make a maneuver. They always had a game plan when they started the round. It was a very specific either way of holding down a site or pushing through using different maneuvers. I'm not going to share the specific tactics for each map because that might be a bit tedious and a bit long of a video, but if you come follow my live stream where I'm streaming the tournament, you'll actually see some of those tactics that I picked up being put into practice because they were really effective. But generally the calls went one of two ways. Either you did a 1-1-2 split, so you have two people on one bomb site, one person in the middle and one person on the other bomb site, or at least nearby, but also covering middle. Or they did a 2-2 split where they completely abandoned one bomb site, put two people on one side, put two people in the middle, and did a pincer maneuver that way. Both of these tactics were really effective because Rogue Company is basically a 3-lane map. It really helps you cover as much ground as possible without spreading yourself too thin. They tend to said, when you're moving around the map, when you're rotating from a position, move in twos. You don't want to get caught out 1v1 or 1v2, so moving around as a unit worked really well, and that's kind of the playstyle it was. You kind of squatted up your buddy and it was your job to hold a particular objective, and it was just really clear what you were doing from the start of the round, and almost every time it executed perfectly. As I said, gunplay wasn't super focused, you know, I would say that they were like above average as well, but it was just the way they maneuvered around the map, the way they coordinated their pushes, and the way they knew what to do. It also completely opened up my eyes to the different rogues that are meta within the competitive scene. It's so different from your pub matches. In pubs, you want people who are fragging out. You want these flankers, these people who can make some really big plays 1v2. People like Shaq, people like Lancer, people like Scorch, people like Phantom who can hit these really nice shots. All these rogues who are really high risk, high reward don't translate very well to the competitive scene. The main competitive picks were rogues such as Vi, Trench, Dallas, Talon and Glitch, people who had a lot of utility to them and a lot of team play and allowed you to get a lot of information. Those solo fraggers really weren't used, and Phantom was an occasional pick, but not really a high value target. It really opened up my eyes to how the competitive scene evolves so quickly in games like this. They were organised, they knew the maps, they knew the rotations, they knew the meta already, and the game's only been out like 3 weeks really. I really learned a lot from the experience, particularly about how to just play a little bit more competitively and what rogues were most useful in different circumstances. And I've started adopting that into some of my public games and for my tournament practice, and it's worked really well. Unfortunately though, due to my complete lack of esports experience, they didn't really think I was the best fit for the team. They were looking for someone who was a bit more professional. They also weren't actually competing in the tournament today, which kind of let me down a bit because that was what I was looking for to do. Also, as a content creator, don't really have the time to join a full esports team, but I really valued the experience and wanted to share it with you guys. If you yourself are trying to get into an esports team or sort of into the competitive scene, I sort of have two pieces of advice for you. First one is to scan Discord and Twitter for these teams and hit them up. Give them your stats, give them any history you have, and see if they want to like trial you for something. Lots of these teams will just host random trials or even trial you out if they think it's worth it. They also look for sub teams and backups, so potentially you could go in that way. But you just need to get yourself known on their radar, and that really comes from finding them in these channels and just hitting them up. Just just taking the chance and seeing if they want to trial you out. In terms of when you're ready to actually go for this trial, you need to probably be having some esports experience from what I've seen. You might be saying, how do I join an esports team with experience when I don't have any experience and I can't join the esports teams? Well, you need to be looking for these sort of solo tournaments. Things like roguebowl are really good because it's entry for everybody, it's completely open, and it just gets you on the radar. If you place really well, they may want you, they may pick you up. So you want to be looking for these little niches or creating really good content that gets blown up, maybe goes a little bit viral on the community, and maybe they pick you up that way. But you have to remember they're looking for really consistent players, not just the occasional flashy play. You also really need to have your tactical gameplay on point and be able to use those sort of rogues that I was talking about. They don't really care if you're a Shack main, that's not really a lot of use to them, but if you're adaptable and you can play something like Vi or Trench, that's what they're really looking for. The most important thing to know about the competitive scene though is how different it really is, and this is something I just opened up my eyes completely. The communication is so on point, the enjoyment therefore is so on point, but it can get a bit heated. I'm not gonna lie, it can get a little bit heated between people. Those guys really nice. It was some of the other trialies who got a little bit heated, a little bit attitudey with the different people, and you can just kind of feel the competitive energy. And whilst I did enjoy it, I don't think it's really my scene to go into, the competitive scene. I'll play the casual competitive, the tournaments and things, but joining a full esports team I don't really have the time to commit to. But I can say without a doubt, very valuable experience. I learned so much, and I think if you guys went for it as well, you would too. And maybe, who knows, maybe if you're good enough, they'll even get you onto their team, and you could maybe start to play a little bit professionally, maybe enter some higher value tournaments. When custom games come out, you'll be scrimming a lot, and that could be a really valuable experience for you as well. Hopefully this did open your eyes up a little bit to what the competitive scene is like. It really did shock me how the competitive scene has just grown so quick in Rogue Company. It's only been out a few weeks. Like, it's mad. If you are looking to see a bit of competitive gameplay from myself, remember the tournament is today and I will be streaming it, so go follow me on twitch.tv/radbargaming to see it live. I'll be hosting the whole 3-hour games on my channel as I play them with my team, and we're going for the dub. I'm going to try and get that prize pool. I'm going for it, man. I found this team and we're really cracking through. We gel really well together. The vibe is great, and maybe we're in with a shot. Who knows? But also go check out Mario Gaming. I'll put their links in the description for the actual Twitch stream that they're hosting it on, and also some of their Twitters in the description as well, just so you can hit them up and see what's going on. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed and learned a little something about the competitive scene, which isn't really shown in Rogue Company too much, as it is such a new game. And if you did enjoy, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel to not miss anything. And I will see you in the stream later tonight. Let's go.